In this episode of Talking About Orcs, we're going to be going over Grot tanks. We're probably going to do the big tanks separate, but for now we're just going to be talking about the Grot tanks. There's quite a bit to talk about, I think. So, Grot tanks are a unit that contains 4 Grot tanks. It may include up to 4 additional Grot tanks for a +6 power rating. One commander may take the place of a Grot in each tank. The only difference is an extra leadership. Grot tanks may only be included in an attachment that also contains 1 or more big mechs. So you have to take a mech. Well, you probably want to take a mech with KFF anyway, just to support these guys. So let's take a look at their stats. They have movement of 2d6, so it means you have to roll 2d6 every time you want them to move. Weapon skill 6, ballistic skill 4, of course, because they're Grots. Strength 4, toughness 5, wounds 4, 2 attacks, leadership 4, and a 4-up save. They also have a 6-up invulnerable save. You must, let's see, each model must choose one of the weapons below. A commander may choose 2 instead. So, big shooter, Scorcher, Grazuka, Rocket Launcher, Custom Mega Blaster. So, and any Grot may also have a Shuda. Shudas are 0, so there's no point in not having Shudas on them. Again, they're 0 points, so. What do I think? I think they are way worse cans and slightly better buggies. So let's talk about them. So they are only 4 wounds each, versus the cans, which are 5, and buggies, which are also 5, or 6 for the war track. They only have a 4-up save versus a 3-up save on the cans. But of course they have no melee weapons. But that movement 2d6 really, I think, puts a hindrance on them by quite a bit, because you're not going to be able to reliably get them on target, especially if you have like a rocket launches, which would probably be the weapons of choice on these things. I mean, if you roll 2 or 3 inches, I mean 7 is the average, but that's just average. You're just as likely to roll 3 inches as you are 7 inches. So, well, maybe not technically as likely, but you know, if you need to get in range of something and you roll low, you know, it'd be suck to have to use a command point on these guys to get them in range to shoot at something. So I just think there are better options. I mean, that 6-up invulnerable save might be nice, but I think I'd rather have the outflank ability of the war buggies, especially after their points drop, because these are 30 points per model plus weapons, of course. So with a rocket launcher, which is probably the weapon you're going to be using more than anything else, they're going to be 42 points a pop. I'd rather pay a few more points for the war buggy. They have more movement, more reliable movement, and they have that outflank ability, so you don't have to have them on the table first turn to get shot at. So Grot tanks, I mean, you can have a lot of them, but what are you going to do with them? They're just going to sit there. They're weak. They don't have a great save. Not a lot of wounds. I mean, there are characters with as many wounds as these vehicles here. I mean, literally a mech. The little mech has 4 wounds too, same as these Grot tanks. So I think they need some help. And I think there are better options. I think I'd rather take either kilocans or war buggies over the Grot tanks in pretty much every situation. The kilocans are going to be more reliable, sturdier, and have amazing close combat. And the war buggies are going to have the outflank ability to keep them safe on that first turn and then come in and shoot what they need to shoot at. These only have the real benefit of having that 6-up invulnerable save, but are really hampered by a random movement stat. So yeah, Grot tanks. That's not a lot to say about them. They're just, I think they're what you would probably take instead of war buggies. I'm not really, unfortunately, not too impressed with the stats that they have. So if you run Grot tanks, I haven't. I mean, it's something that's always been on the back burner for converting up. But I've never actually bothered with it because they were never all that great stat wise. I think they need a better, if they had like just an inherent 5-up save, But then you have to take the mech anyway, so why wouldn't you take the mech and just go with that instead of having an inherent save. So basically, it's that random movement characteristic that really, really puts it off for me. And the fact that the cans are going to have more wounds and a better save and close combat. Whereas these don't have any of those options. So that is the Grot tanks. As I said, if you run Grot tanks, a lot of people have their cool models. There are lots of them out there in third party, like Cromlech and Spellcrow and all kinds of all these like resin manufacturers have what would be the equivalent of Grot tanks, and they can be really fun to build. There's no doubt about that. But in game, you know, I think war buggies are probably going to be a little more useful because they do have that outflank ability, keeping them safe the first turn. So what do you think? Again, let me know what you think below. Grot tanks are a pass for me, but again, these are all about the modeling opportunity more than actually playing something super competitive on the table. Thanks for watching.
Thank you for watching this episode of Talking About Orcs. Please subscribe and hit the bell button for notifications for new Talking About Orcs videos every Wednesday, new battle reports every Friday, and hobby videos whenever I can. Thanks for watching.